Yeah.
There we go. All right, we are recording.
Well, welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. You have all found this group here because you're interested in learning more about your gut health, how you can support your immune system, as well at the same time keep your mind in a nice, healthy state as well, too. It all is interrelated. And we have a very, very special guest tonight, Sue Pelchaty, who's going to teach us about this gut-brain connection and how we can support our immune system in these times that we're in right now. So it's going to be really fun, educational. Also, Sue is like a wealth of knowledge. So if you don't have your pen and paper already, go grab it. So you're going to want to take some good notes here. Sue is one of our, she's one of our awesome leaders here in our Young Living community. And she's been in Young Living for many years. How many, Sue?
Since 2002.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of years. And she's a certified clinical aromatherapist, among other things. And she has a very unique background and a story. But I'm going to turn it over to Sue and let her tell you a little bit about that and get into this very exciting topic. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Heather, and thank you, Kim, for inviting me to speak tonight. This happens to be a topic that's near and dear to my heart. My background actually is in chemical engineering. I used to work for this little company called Exxon many, many years ago. And when I was in my late 20s, I came down with a terrible case of mononucleosis, chronic fatigue syndrome. My body became covered internally with candida, and I slept 18 to 20 hours a day. So I was a wreck. And that was way back when, before we knew anything about the stuff that we know now, like chronic fatigue syndrome, dysbiosis, candida, Epstein-Barr virus, all of these different things that really came to the forefront while I was going through it. And I bring that topic up because for two reasons. One was, in my deepest, darkest moment, I said, God, please help me. I'll help whoever crosses my path. I felt like my immune system had totally collapsed. I really wondered if I had AIDS. I was just so sick. And ever since that day, I had a never-ending supply of education and helpers that helped me understand how important it was for me to rebuild my whole body through food, through nutrition, through mental practice, through meditation, through affirmation. And believe it or not, this was pre-oils. It would have happened a heck of a lot faster if I had oils. But anyway, I recovered and ended up getting into this field as a result. So for me, the condition that I had, there's a term in Chinese that's called Ji. It means crisis is the same thing as an opportunity, which is kind of what we're going through right now, right? With the current crisis on the planet, is we have an opportunity here. We have a chance to look at this as, how do we turn this whole situation into an opportunity to help others, to help the planet, and to help ourselves. Okay, so that's a little bit of my background. So I'm tying together tonight our gut health, our mood, our immunity, and young living, all into one big happy bow, with one big bow. Alrighty, so dear stress, let's break up. I want you to get an oil, any oil you want. Okay, I picked a special little oil. Well, I can't tell you, but that's this one. I better pick another oil. This is one my husband created with hemp. All right, I'm going to take one that's really a de-stressor. Rutabaga. And I want you to take your oil. I don't care what oil you use. Just pick anything. Okay. What do we have here? Stress away, harmony. Okay, I actually picked one with a roll-on. I have roll-ons on my whoa, way to go, Marie. So take a draw. I want you to take your thumbs from the back of your head. Oh, you girls are way ahead of me. Slow down. I want you to find the little indentation at the base of your skull, at the top of your neck. Okay, that's the LC point. locus coeruleus point. It is the connection between your brain and your gut, and actually all of your internal organs. And I want you to take your oil and I want you to put it right there. And I'll show you why in a minute when we get to the next slide. Okay? Oh my goodness, that feels good. This is something Gary taught in the neuroauricular technique. Remember when we did that, Heather and Kim?
Yes, I remember
Fun, right?
that.
Okay. So it's going to de-stress me. It's going to de-stress you. Okay. Next slide.
My oil.
The axis of love. The connection between the brain and the gut is that little vagus nerve. And we just went to the top of the vagus nerve and put an oil there for us. Okay? So what is this axis of love? The brain is going, God, you boost my serotonin, baby. Woo! Oh, brain, you give me butterflies. We are so connected to our gut. Okay? We're in love. Our bodies love, that whole flow of love along that vagus nerve. Okay? So remember, our mood and our bellies are interconnected. So we would definitely want happy bellies. And we want a happy brain to make our bellies happy. It goes both ways, right? In a love affair, it has to go both ways. So what's so special about this gut of ours? So the gut, the gastrointestinal tract, is considered our second brain, okay? There's trillions, hundreds of trillions of little microorganisms that live throughout your gut, that communicate. They're there for your immune system. They break down the food. They do all these different things. They are our friends. They need to be the good guys, not the bad guys. We want good guys, okay? And when we have lots of good guys, we have a really healthy body. And we're going to explain to you how you want to have a lot of good guys and how we keep those around and make us happy. All right? Okay. So now this is really interesting. We got a lot of ladies on the phone, on the call, right? Almost twice as many women suffer from digestive issues compared to guys. Why do you think that is? More complicated plumbing? Maybe we multitask and we think about so many things instead of digesting our food. I don't know about you, but I feel like I run around circles when it comes to the hubby in the house. I'm not sure, but it's just something to think about. Okay, the other thing is 62% of people worldwide will suffer from some kind of digestive complaint. Personally, I think that is way too low, right? Way too low. 95% of serotonin is produced in the small intestine. So that's one of those really important molecules to keep you happy and balanced. And they consider 70% of your immune system to be in your gut. So that's the miracle. That is the miracle of our bodies right there. So if we can make our gut happy, we can do so much to support the rest of us. Got it? Okay. So we're going to start off. We were talking about this when we were having our little planning session. In our home, we have this kind of very special little thing going on. Some of you know Galen Green passed away about a month and a half ago now. And Jeffrey, our lost soul, our Royal Crown Diamond, comes over and eats with us every day. And we eat, midday, and my mom, who's going to be 100 in July, sits across the table from him. And it really is a little bit of a love fest that goes on. But what we've done is sort of a new thing to center us and to help us with our digestion, right? Is we do grace. This is the grace we do, okay? Substance of earth, essence of light, grace of heaven, in us unite, blessings on the meal. So when we think about it, we are getting our foods from the earth and the sunlight and from the grace of the divine, right? And all of that is in us, bringing us life, bringing us vitality, and why it's so important for us to take care of planet Earth, besides just what we're doing, right? So that's our grace. So the other part of this is we really want to do our very best to sort of manage our emotions. You know, there's a thing, some people think, you know, we really can't manage our emotions, but we do have the ability to, what I like to call, rise up out of the muck and mire, but when we're in the thick of it. He said this, we rise up above the muck and mire, and we go, wait a minute, time out. I really don't need to be angry right now. I need to reflect and say, okay, let's put myself in the other person's shoes. Let's do something to put it into a different perspective, right? So 1 minute of anger literally weakens your immune system for 4 to 5 hours. Who needs that, right? So on the other side, 1 minute of laughter boosts your immune system for over 24 hours. Something to think about, right? So I thought I'd throw this in, which I just love. Dear Lord, we thank you for this food we're about to eat. Please don't let us get caught. Amen. That cat and the dog, they're just looking at that, right? Give me that food. Don't let me get caught. So we all could use a little levity, right? Okay, so now, some of you know I'm married to an acupuncturist, and in the process of getting well, I spent a lot of time with affirmations. Affirmations that came from a book called from Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. Another book by Dr. John Diamond. And what Dr. John Diamond did is he basically looked at every meridian and found out what affirmation would actually strengthen a meridian. What a meridian is, it's an energy pathway through the body that is like the link between the body and the mind. So a popular meridian that most of you might even know the point for is the large intestine channel or meridian. If you just go right here, press right in here, this is a large intestine point, which is really good if you need to make a poop and you can't go. Okay, very, very good point to move the bowel. All right, you do both hands, get yourself balanced. So when the meridians get stagnant, so think of it this way, and this is kind of interesting. Route 46, the Garden State Parkway, the New Jersey Turnpike. Right now, there's not a lot of traffic, is it? They're flowing. Okay, those meridians of New Jersey are flowing right now. But imagine 3 months ago, what were they like at rush hour? Stuck, traffic jams, blockages. So a blocked meridian is like a traffic jam. And so there's a couple of ways to smooth out a traffic jam. One is through pressing acupuncture points, and the other is through affirmations specifically for the digestive system, which we're talking about, okay? So for example, I am content, has to do with the liver. I am tranquil, deals more with the stomach. I am basically clean and good and worthy of being loved is the large intestine, okay? Some people, when I find people that are, yeah, and you'll find this is very interesting. It's like when people really are really constipated, sometimes they're really guilty about something. You just can't let it go, okay? So another one is, and this is from Louise Hay, I digest life with ease. I release that which is what I no longer need. The past is over. I am free. So, you know, we are not just a body, not just a mind. We are body, mind, and spirit. And this gives us the opportunity to just reflect on the power that we have to heal ourselves and to boost our immunity and to balance our gut lining and everything else, our energies that's supporting our digestive system, through the use of affirmations, through the use of you could even take one of these and meditate on it. Take one of these and journal on it. All kinds of possibilities here for you. We have take an oil to go along with it and journal. What do you think of those ideas? Anybody? Can you hear me? Is everybody else muted?
All muted. We love it though.
Okay, all right.
So we
I'm
had
just making sure when I don't get feedback, I'm like, oh.
yeah, no, we have everybody muted.
Okay.
They're typing in the chat. Great ideas. Love it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Very good.
Okay.
All righty, so let us move on. All right, so now we're going to talk a little about the Young Living products, okay? I'm going to call them the Happy Belly Young Living products. I'm going to break them down into 5 categories. The enzymes, flora, kids' bellies, digestive oils, and Ningxia red, okay? So let's start with enzymes. All righty, so Kim, remember you were asking about the video. All righty, so you guys, you can jot this down. The Thrive Family Essentials. You can actually find this video. It is a public video, so you could share it with anybody. It's the oatmeal experiment. And they took the Essentialzymes 4 and they put it in oatmeal with a little bit of water. I think this was 10 minutes. It liquefied. So why is this important? So when you start eating your meal, right, we get ourselves calm, we're smiling, we're sitting down, we're eating, and we're not chewing all the way, let's say, which is common. That's really the first step of a happy belly, is chewing. I like to actually chew until my food is liquid and take one of my supplements with my food. That way I know I'm getting it to a liquid, instead of eating and then taking my supplements and washing them down with water. If you can do that, if you can chew until you have a liquid and then take your pill, your supplement, you're chewing your food well. It's one of the things I learned to get well 30 years ago. Okay. So as a backup to that, besides chewing, if you take enzymes, and I really like Essentialzymes 4, it covers all of the bases for when you eat a meal. You just take a yellow pill, a white pill, and you take them with your food. I have somebody at my door. Hold on, I'm so sorry.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. How many people know about enzyme or use enzymes?
Okay.
Or heard about enzymes? You can write it in the chat here. This experiment, this one is probably the one that had me become a believer to start incorporating enzymes into my daily routine. Yeah, Linda, you use the 4. I use the Essentialzyme 4 too, because it gets it works on all carbs and protein and plant based as well. Tony, yes, Tony raised her hand.
So guys, I am back.
Oh, okay, great.
But now I don't know if you could see me anymore.
No, we can't.
I don't know what happened. All I did was walk away. Did you mute me or something?
Nope.
No.
It started happening before you walked away.
Yeah,
So
you froze. It might be because of where you're pulling these slides from. Possibly you just might have switched off from the Zoom call. Can you see us on the side?
I can see you.
Okay.
You just may not see me, guys.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's probably buried under one of your layers there.
Okay.
Okay, we can hear you.
All right, so I'm just gonna go back.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so Essentialzymes, as you were saying, Kim, I'm sorry about the interruption.
No worries.
Yes, it really covers all the gambit. What I like about this is you don't have to think about it, just take it. It's plain and simple. They say to take it with your biggest meals, so like lunch and dinner. I personally take enzymes all the time. Okay, so you can also take enzymes between meals. So what an enzyme does is it breaks up foods. It breaks up undigested foods and proteins and fats in your bloodstream. And it can literally start to clean up your blood. Now, Gary Young took 4 essential Enzyme every morning. That was his protocol. It was his, I don't know how compliant we're going to be, but he used it as sort of a cancer prevention, because cancer was common in his family. And he felt that the essential Enzyme would break up any coating around cancer cells and allow frankincense and other things to go in. But he was meticulous about doing that. He took Detox Enzyme in the evening to kind of clear up any residual foods, any crap in the bloodstream. And especially if you start to feel poorly, he would take like 6 or 7, 8 at a time, minimally. He could take a half a bottle, to be honest with you. And the next morning he would wake up without any problem. A lot of people like to take the Detox Enzyme at night. It feels very cleansing. Okay. I've taken essential Enzyme in the morning. I like that. I haven't done the Detox Enzyme at night to try it. Allerzyme anytime between meals is fine. These are all wonderful enzymes. They're there to help clean up your act. Okay? Plain and simple. Now I want to have you thinking about your gut. I want you, there's your little belly with all these beautiful flowers, and it just has all these wonderful, wonderful bacteria happily working in there, digesting your food, turning it into vitamins and nutrients and happy hormones and all this stuff, right? Okay, now I want to show you something. This is a medical graph. And let me tell you what this is. So there's 2 charts here, right? There's one that says richness and one that says diversity. Okay? So the richness would be the quantity of friendly bacteria. So look at the time. This is going from day 0 to 180 days, a half of a year. If you take an antibiotic on day 0 and you see the drop in the level of friendly bacteria in your intestinal tract, and then it slowly starts to come back up at day 180, and you'll notice it's still not at the same level as the original before you took it. And then if you look at the diversity, you see the same situation, right? So here's somebody that took antibiotics that really didn't have any of the magical things that Young Living has. Okay? But isn't that eye-opening? Really, really eye-opening. When I was growing up, I was on so many antibiotics. My mother took me to the doctor all the time. They thought I was doing the right thing. That's the way it was 6 years ago.
Yeah, and Sue, Tierney even put in the chat too, just, 1 round literally wipes out the microbiome, by 30%.
Yeah.
Just one dose. So yeah. Many of us, I was also one of those that had the gut issues like that because I was constantly on antibiotics growing up.
Yeah, so this is it. I think visuals are really important because you hear things and you're like, oh, this is medical research showing this. Right? So what do we do? Now, most of the antibiotics in the country now are in our livestock. So if you're going to eat organic, the most important thing you can do is eat organic, poultry, meat, even eggs. Okay. So that's just something to think. How we talk about we eat our organic veggies, but we need to think about the livestock as well. Okay. Now I love this graph. This was a study that was done over, I think it was Sweden. And they had a family, just a regular family, go from regular eating habits to 5 days of eating organically. And then they measured all these different weird chemicals and look at the results. Some of them are not even showing up in the bloodstream anymore. They did blood tests. So it shows you just how big of an impact you can have by changing your diet. So we know, chemicals and antibiotics screw us up in many ways. And we have the ability to make the change. You know, I made dinner today and Ursula and I went out shopping and I came back and everything I cooked was organic. And I was like, I feel so grateful that I have like 3 stores within a few miles of me that have organic products. You know, how blessed we are to have that at our fingertips in this day and age. And the more we buy it, the more there will be, the more will be grown, right? So let's keep that in mind. Okay, so what do? Life 9 to the rescue. This is the first Young Living product we're really talking about. It has 5 different beneficial strains, or excuse me, 9, it used to be 5, now it's 9. It's 17 billion cultures. Now people say, how much do you take? You know, they're recommending, 1 at night. If you really have had a problem, you could take 2 or 3 of these at night. If you've been on antibiotics, I would take them for a very long period of time at higher doses, because you really want to reseed your gastrointestinal tract. So what does that mean, reseed your gastrointestinal tract? What it means is you have miles, it feels like miles of intestines, feet, not miles. And they need to be protected. The lining needs to be protected with a very particular protective mechanism. And that protective mechanism is these friendly bacteria. And in a healthy adult, you need 3.5 to 4 pounds of friendly bacteria. When you think about that, that's a lot. And the fact that we kill it off with antibiotics, antibiotic food, I remember back in the day, we couldn't even drink carbonation. Like, I don't touch zinc. I hate to say it, but I don't touch it. It's filled with carbonation. So, I'm a Ningxia Nitro MindWise gal, right? And with oils. But that's for some people, because my gut is so sensitive, I just am extremely careful what I do. Okay. That is, of course, your choice, right? It's a healthier soda.
So can you please, if you don't mind, explain the carbonation real quick, just so that I can get it in my head? I know, like, sometimes I'm like, wait, what does the carbonation do? Does it bubble up in the intestinal tract and throw things off?
I don't know the chemistry of it. I could look it up. I just remember when I was doing, the diet and studying a lot on this topic, that was one of the no-nos.
Sue, I had learned years back that it add to leaching calcium from the bones too.
Yeah.
Right. That was, I think, the biggest. That was
one of the things.
And for the bloating in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And Arrest said it affects the oxygen in the body if it's too much carbonation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a nice treat, but it's not a daily thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so we're ready to move to the next piece?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you are thinking about these friendly bacteria, they like to eat too. And they like something called prebiotics, which is a yummy little food for them that we have in our master formula. So if we take our nice daily master formula, which covers the basis of antioxidants and vitamins and minerals, and we know that we'll get to feed our happy bacteria. We'll make our bacteria happier. Okay, so prebiotics is a big term. All right, now for children and for those of us that think we're kids and love taking kid stuff, well, first of all, there's Mighty Zyme, right? We have enzymes for the children, and Mighty Pro is the prebiotic with probiotics, and that is yummy. And there we have, Heather has it right there. These little packets that taste yummy. Okay, and Mighty Bites. So we can't forget the kids. Really, really, really important. Simple, very simple. Those 3 things are wonderful for the kids. You're going to really cover the bases. Okay, Now, we can't do a Young Living talk without oils for digestion, right? And this is where I think all of you can actually chime in. I'm going to give just a few overview points, and then maybe you guys can chime in on how you actually use these oils in your health. So I actually put up pictures of the Vitality oils with the white labels. I think everybody knows that those white labels are basically there for the sake of the FDA. There are other bottles with colored labels that are for topical use and aromatic use, but it's the exact same oil. So, but these ones, because they're in a white label, yes, thank you, Heather. The two colors, same thing. I just put these up here just to be legit. All right. So peppermint, peppermint's amazing. And I want to just stop for a second and get you thinking, because we're getting to warmer weather. And my rule of thumb is peppermint is more cooling and Digestive is more warming. So in the summer and the warmer seasons, I tend to use peppermint. In the winter, cooler times, I tend to use Digestive. Just a rule of thumb. It's Chinese medicine principles, basically. Because if you're overheated, you have an overheated stomach, the last thing you want really is Digestive. You're looking for something cooling. You're looking for peppermint. But in the winter, when your stomach feels cold and you feel cold, I love taking a couple drops of Digestive, putting it in hot water or in my tea, and it turns into like a chai. And it's so warming. It warms my whole body up. It warms my belly up, gets my belly very happy. Okay. So these are wonderful things. You can apply them directly to your belly. You can put them, under your tongue. You can put them in hot water. You can put them in a capsule with some honey or coconut oil. These are all different. And then, of course, you can cook with them. Peppermint brownies. Oh, my goodness. So we love our oils. They are so, what's the word I want to use? Versatile. I'll tell you a story. When I first joined Young Living, this was way back when, a group of us went to study with Gary. And we went to Mexico. And we ate food we should not have eaten. And we were so sick. And I was 2 months into Young Living. I had never even thought of taking an oil internally. And I was like, when you're so sick, it's coming up both ends and you just got to do something. And my husband was in New Jersey, and I called him and I'm like, honey, what do I do? And he says, okay, those big vitamin capsules you have, vitamin C, just empty them out, fill half up with Digestive, half up with these, and swallow. And I did it, and Helene did it, and we both got well so fast. And the amazing part of it was neither of us got to Montezuma's Revenge. We were on a plane like within 48 hours, and it was my true blue introduction to taking oils internally and saying, oh my God, this is amazing. And that is so exciting when you know, there's a one thing to listen to me talk or listen to someone else talk. It's another when you have the situation and you have someone holding your hand saying, it's safe to do this, let's go, go for it. And they're supporting you through the process. And you're like, yeah, I know this works beyond a shadow of a doubt. So that happened for me back in 2002. And it's only been, forever building on top of it. The belief has been building on top of it. So just to put that into perspective, I know Heather and I were talking, she likes to put the Digestive on her belly. She uses the roller ball so her hands don't smell like it. Yeah. You play with it. The reason why we put oils under our tongue is we don't have taste buds under our tongue. So if it's a strong taste, it's not as bad. Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep moving unless we're going to cover anything else on oils. We're good? Okay. All right. So we covered oils. We covered enzymes. We didn't talk about Ningxia, but Ningxia happens to have some prune juice in it, which keeps things flowing. I mean, it's unbelievably amazing for your immunity and for vitality. That's a whole presentation in and of itself. But you know, the bottom line is drink it. Drink it every day. My mom's going to be 100. She has it first thing in the morning, every morning. Okay. Alrighty. So the next slide here is self-care global contest. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting lines on here for some reason. I have no idea why that's doing that. It's interesting. Okay. So some of you have seen this video. And basically what I'm doing for the May contest, because it's such an interesting time with this whole COVID thing, is I want people to watch this video. I have watched, I don't know, maybe 100 videos in the past 2 months. And I fell in love with this doctor. Absolutely fell in love with this doctor. And I love the fact that he's tying together the condition of the planet, the condition of our bodies, a little bit of the medical system, and what is important for us to do. Like, I'm asking the question after you watch this, what did you learn from this? What did you feel about it? What made you feel good about it? Because the end, I promise you, you will feel so good, so alive. The end is spectacular. And also, what can you do to make this world a better place? What can we do to have a stronger immune system? What can we do to have a cleaner planet? And so I put that in there as the contest for this month. So I invite you all to participate. We'll have 3 winners. And I think you'll really enjoy it. It's long. It's 1 hour and 22 minutes, which is nothing for watching, you know, a blockbuster video. But I think you'll be mesmerized by it and you'll learn a lot from it. So I invite you to do that. So I think I'm going to end with this slide and then we can open it up to questions. So the elimination diet: remove anger, regret, resentment, guilt, blame, and worry. And that's one of the things I liked about the video, because there's so much of these going around. And he really kind of, remember I talked about being in the muck and mire, you know? He kind of helps you rise up above the muck and mire and have a bigger, more spiritual perspective of the whole thing. And it allows us to pull ourselves up out of that anger and stuff and to come more to a place of gratitude and love. And that's when we feel our health improve and our life improve. So I want to thank you all for this opportunity to share this information with you. It's always an honor and a pleasure. I'm so sorry my computer is funky and you don't see me anymore, but I hope you're enjoying the slides and the conversation, and I'm here to help answer any questions.
Yes, thank you, Sue. Oh, Heather, okay, great. That's the link to the
Video.
To the video. Okay, yeah. So let me just make sure I unmute everyone, or you can unmute yourself. We want to open it up to questions. Sue, I wonder if you stop screen sharing, if you might see yourself.
I'll try that.
There you go. No,
I'm still.
you are still dark.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my computer. It's a computer problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you might dial in from your phone so we can see your face.
Okay, let me try that.
Yeah, or leave here and come back on.
All right. So, so let's see. Do we have questions in the chat here? How can we get a recording of this to share? Okay, Rachel, we are recording and we will be uploading it to our various groups, right, Heather?
Yeah, Kim, did you want to shut off the recording at this point so we can do Q&As off camera?
Okay.